As a protocol, it is there into a validatory address that I have to deliver it. Believing it ki, you have still a little bit energy to get the things back. I'm going to compile what we have done it for these 2 days, and that's why I frame my address as transforming education through technology. This is something in COVID period that the world has changed. World has changed into a capacity that everybody starts using the technology into their profession. And indeed, the education was not a surprise act. So we, all the teachers as well as the learners, start getting it out, how to infuse the technology into day-to-day learning. And this is what I had compiled for all of us. We say in English there is a proverb that necessity is the mother of inventions. EdTech platforms, education technology platforms are the same necessity. When in COVID the students cannot come to the schools and the colleges and the teachers want to teach them, the energy had evolved. And probably the world has seen the fast pace of inventions into this. Every country had lot many platforms to resume their studies, work from home, and teaching at home. So EdTech is an introduction of ICT into the classroom to create a holistic learning experiences. It enhances the teacher-led learning because in the classrooms to improve the students' education outcomes, we have, being a teacher, it's our responsibility to try everything, probably which works, which does not work, the results comes later on, had given a chance to the educator to use multiple things into their lectures, into their daily routine, into the classrooms. It comprises of interactive problem screens, whiteboards, digital notebooks, tablets, and the students' response systems are there. Lot many debate is still going on in the world, across the world, that face-to-face learning is better or it is the online better. But one thing is for sure, that now the technology has infused it into our education system and we have to take it up. Feasible inclusive learning by bridging the communication gap between the teachers and the students. It tries to meet up with this thing. I had jotted down 12 benefits of using technology into education. On my right hand side, the blue 6 combinations are there, which helps the student group in learning. The first one is collaboration. This is what the 21st century is skill, to make the student feel that how we can collaborate. The EdTech platform has given this chance. In face-to-face learning, there are the restrictions that the student want to be student-centric only and want to work alone. He or she is adopting for that. While into a EdTech platform, he has or she has to definitely collaborate either by the teachers, either to the platform or either to the peer group. So this is the skill which is inculcating into the students, is one of the benefit of using the technology into our education, into the group learning. The second is active learning. Into a face-to-face learning, there is a thing that if you are boredom, like into the valedictory sessions when people are, so there might not be active learning. You might sit and browse your mobile phones as Dr. Rajendra is using it. While you are onto the technology or into the classroom online, you cannot deviate your concentration. Once you deviate your concentration, you will be out and missing, and then you resume again and you can start it again. So this is again the second benefit. The third is social learning. The social learning is again a collective. There is no boundaries of the universities, of the schools, or the colleges, even the countries. The learner can learn from anywhere, the teacher can teach it from anywhere. So this brings a demographic challenges outcome, and we are being socially connected more by using the technology into our education system. Content engagement. Into a classroom, if we talk about a decade before, there was a restriction and there was challenges of using only a board and few of the props and teaching the students and making them involved into this. Whereas the content engagement in the era of technology has improvised the things. We have lot many accessories available. Now we have lot many type of a gamification tool, like the Singapore were talking about, to the drawing and craft and STEM, STEAM, STEAM, everything can be collaborated all together into a single lecture, which makes the learner more engaged, and more learning outcome can be changed by using the content in this era. The next one is project learning. Project learning is also one of the group benefit of using, because now you can collaborate with the special persons who are the specialists into that. But a single project needs lot many knowledge or lot many expertise areas, starting from the content creation to the graphic creation to the statistic improvement, using lot many. And a single person cannot be very well versed with all of these domain areas. So the project learning is also improvised using the technology into our education system. And of course the global exposure, because it has opened the door to see the expert people around the globe that who are working in that particular area. So these 6 are the group benefits. If I'm talking about an individual benefit, which the learner or the teacher is getting it up by using the technology, they are accessibility. They can access the data anytime at their ease, 24/7, the things are available. Value diversity. Value diversity is something that if I'm having a financial challenges of not going to the best of the universities, Oxford, Harvard or something, the content is available now free of cost into online, and there are the many platforms which gives you access to learn it with no cost into it. Communication is no more a barrier. Yesterday when Professor Lozzi and Masanori was talking into a Japanese language, we 100 people are sitting and probably nobody has catch up a single word. But this technology into the education has opened the door for this communication barrier is no more. Self-direction, the learner, either side, either we are the educator or either we are the student side, both the side the self-direction is there. Now you have a flexibility of using how to teach or how to get yourself learn. If your capacity of assuming the thing is for 15 minutes, just study for 15 minutes and then resume it back. Cost saving, I had already discussed, no boundary is there for an individual now. They are free to dive into the pool of availability resources. It is up to you that how best you can swim through this. And as far as the benefits are there, we always have a pro side, that the coin has a 2 sides. So we have a flip side of it also, and the flip side is challenges of using the technology into education. Lot many presentation I have seen in these 2 days from St. Pablo colleges who are using the statistical analysis and coming up with the same result as I have into this. Number one is technical issue. This is perhaps the, even today, it is a challenge. We are saying that 5G is available, internet is available, the devices are available. But there are lot many people, either onto the education who are best into their subjects, but they cannot be technically so sound to deliver the content into the same pace as they can do it into the classrooms. So probably this is one of the challenges that, again, I don't know that it will be the years or decades when it becomes a normal. Online instructions and communication. Sometimes you cannot understand by seeing the facial expression that how much the learner or the deliverer is grasping it, what you are giving to them. So writing the instructions, then communicating it into a writing, speaking and listening, all these things are sometimes not synced. So the things misses here and there, and some confusion always creates or hinders the learning material. Continuous feedback is there. This is again the challenge to get a continuous feedback, whether I'm audible or not, whether you are taking it or not, you understood or not. Asking a multiple questions multiple times into technology to give a confidence that what you are trying to deliver the other side, they are taking it up or not. Digital knowledge, it is there because the students who are much more, the nurses have presented a beautiful things today, but probably they are not so much equipped with the digital platform. So now it has become a challenge to learn that whatever the course may be, starting from arts to the engineering, every course needs a digital knowledge. So this is again a challenge because this is not a cup of tea and neither an interest area for everyone. Traditional organizational model. This is comes very big hindrance in getting the acceptability of the new things into a traditional model. Sometimes the ethics don't allow, sometimes the rigidness of the person who has to implement or the institutions to implement does not come out of this. Time management, getting it complete, the working hours increases. Probably everybody has seen it when working from a home during a COVID time. The working hours increases from 8 to 12 around the globe because every second option is to do an online meeting and putting up the things. So time management is there. Foolproof assessment. The teachers, the students, teacher make an assessment. The student go to a Google ChatGPT and they try to solve the assessment, put it up. We don't have a foolproof system by seeing it, whether the students are getting the cheating or it's the original response that they are writing. It's a different learning style. Every individual has a different learning style. The technology still has not come up with a solution that meets everybody's learning styles into the same time frame. Course design and lesson planning, collaboration, adaptability, and the student engagement are few other challenges of using the technology. So the solution or the debate is going across the globe. Is blended learning model is a more suitable when we compare this? So I have this Venn diagram here. Face-to-face, we are seeing that these are the face-to-face benefits, that it goes through a poster reading to models and debates, art projects, sense of learning, diagrams, direct instructions and performances were there. When we are talking only online, there are interactive flashcard, podcast, online assessment and something. But when we are coming into the center of this area, this is something that is going into all of the universities across the world, that is STEM projects, peer collaboration, a small group of instructions or stations, slide presentations, teacher-students conference, coding, writing assignments, digital lessons. Probably it is a blending mode, and how much the outcomes will be this, it is too early to comment on this. Now I have, before planning up this presentation for all you, I have tried to jot it down the EdTech platforms of many countries. In a developed country, I tried to find it out what are the best EdTech platforms in USA these days. Great Minds, BrainPop, TutorMe, and Great Minds, BrainPop, TutorMe, OutSchool, Udacity in the USA. These are probably a decade-old EdTech platforms, and they are very much used in all the higher education institutions as well as into their schools. We have a friends from Singapore. In Singapore, the Exceed system, Endon, Twitter, Teamly, Genibook. These are few of the EdTech platforms that are going from the school to the higher education institutions. And now in developed countries, the situation is that they are more used to of using the EdTech into their day-to-day studies. If we are talking about a developing country in India and Philippines, in India, the best EdTech platforms these days going are the Trainer Central, Upgrade, Vedantu, Unacademy, and the Byju's. If you are talking about the Philippines, I don't know how many of you are using these EdTech platforms. EduSuite is there, Orange Apps, Leon, Tender, Tactiles. These are few of the EdTech platforms going into your own country. If you are talking about underdeveloped countries, they are also not away from this. They are also trying to evolve themselves and using technology in Ethiopia, Myanmar, Nepal, Ghana, in most of the African countries, in Nigeria, Tanzania, Uganda. Everywhere the one or the two platforms start infusing the technology into their education system. If we are talking about the AI tools for learning, we all are very familiar with the Gradescope, ChatGPT, WordTune, Slides AI, Writesonic, Perplexity. Some are there to write it, some are there to draw it, somebody will create your presentations, just putting up the things, somebody give you a application and prepare your resume for the next job. So all these tools are using by these days and become a discussion mount for everyone. So in a conclusion, I can conclude by giving more process in comparison to more contrast of using the ethics. So ethics are delivering quality education but need to focus on mass inculcation. Ethics are also saving a lot of time. Automating or partially automating day-to-day operations become a challenge for the institutions. Training and involvement of the teachers is a rigorous process which is mandatory, and it goes lot much viscous cycle. More you train, more type of a challenge. The technology is changing every day, so every day the training all has to be open. With the effective use of a technology, we can definitely make a better future for our upcoming generations, and learning become a pleasurable, which almost is not as of today. Thank you very much.